Good morning and welcome to the in-week edition of I'm Still Playing. Now, I have to say, originally this is going to be a Diablo IV edition of I'm Still Playing, but as I set about thinking what I had to say about Diablo IV, Vessel of Hatred, I came to the unfortunate realization that I really just don't have that much to say. And the reason for that is, well, the game is just really good right now. I mean, not only is it better than it ever has been, but it's also actually good. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the campaign so far, and the campaign itself is actually pretty short. I just haven't been able to get as much playtime as I would like. I hear there are a few hiccups along the way, but I won't talk about those for fear of spoilers. But the campaign so far has been quite enjoyable. And then once you get to the end of that campaign, there's even more evergreen content than there has been before for you to enjoy as part of the end game. I mean, there are literally twice as many in-game activities now as there was at launch. And while there have been a few criticisms for some of the content stuff coming out right now, like the enormous amount of time it takes to follow the realm walkers around before you can get your portal, or the resource bottlenecks that occurred for producing the high-end gear, Blizzard has already either responded to those with hotfixes or has at least mentioned the fact that they've heard your replies and are looking at it. So Blizzard's being pretty darn responsive about fixes for this game right now. And as for the new class, the Spiritborn, well, it is an absolute joy to play. But not only is it really entirely fun to play, but it's also really overpowered right now. I'm not even gone to the upper higher difficulty levels, but I absolutely easily could because it's trivializing the content that I'm running through right now. And they will almost certainly, balance tune this class in later patches. So I would say, again, if you want to come back, now's the time to come back while this class is both fun to play and at the S tier in terms of builds to play. So I'm really only going to spend about just a few minutes telling you what everyone else is taking 15 or 20 minutes to tell you is that you want to come back and play Diablo 4 right now if you enjoy playing Diablo 4 style of game. Is it worth $40 to come back? That kind of depends on the user, obviously, but if you enjoy a decent campaign with high production value, if you enjoy ARPG mechanics or in that style of play, if you want a first-class itemization system and meaningful progression that counts across all of your characters, and you like a variety of in-game content to participate in, then yeah, it's worth the $40 to come back and play. It certainly was for me. Well, if we don't have that much to say about Diablo 4, except that it's a great game and you should probably go get it and play it, what else are we going to talk about this week? Well, as it turns out, October has been and will continue to be a fantastic month for gamers. And there are some great releases that have either just come out or are coming out before the end of the month. And I thought I might touch on some of those because there's some really good stuff coming up. One of the games that was actually just released that I think might be really pretty interesting is Metaphor ReFantazio. Now, yeah, I know. It's right up there with Horizon Zero Dawn in terms of game titles that make you go, what? But goofy title aside, this looks like it could be a lot of fun. It's by the makers of the Persona series of titles. And I have to be honest, I haven't played I've only played Persona 5 in the Persona series, and Persona 5 actually didn't grab me that much. But I do love me a good turn-based combat game, and this has an art style that I think is actually pretty appealing. Additionally, of course, it's got a ton of story, and apparently it sold over 1 million copies on launch day, which is making it the best-selling game that Atlas has ever released so far. So, in fact, I'd say the only reason that I haven't gone and checked it out yet is that, I've been playing Diablo 4. But I think next week, once I finish the campaign in D4, I'll check this out and let you guys know what I think. What do you think? Are you guys playing Metaphor ReFantazio? See, I can't even fucking say it. Are you guys playing this game so far? And if so, please let me know in the comments what you think. Another game that's coming out that has received, zero hype, but I'm actually pretty excited about is MechWarrior 5 Clans. Now, if there's anything that you should know about me, well, actually, it's two things. One, I love all of the Matrix movies. Okay, not the most recent one, but I don't really think that counts. And I'm a huge MechWarrior fan. I have over 1,000 hours in BattleTech's excellent 2017, in Harebrained Schemes' excellent 2017 BattleTech. And I have played and downloaded almost all of the MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries DLC. I even dabbled in MechWarrior Online a little bit back in the day. So yeah, I love the genre, I love the franchise. And if you played MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries like me, you know that it was ultimately a decent foray into the genre, but pretty darn flawed. It had horribly broken AI. It had flat, generic campaign that you didn't produce any characters that you cared about at all. And it had wildly unbalanced missions. So yeah, there was just, I wanted to really like MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, but ultimately it wasn't that good of a game. But what I really wanted more was actually a strong story-driven campaign. I know the sandboxing is great, but I was kind of done with the sandbox mercenaries mode of play, and I really just wanted a compelling campaign. BattleTech has much better campaign, honestly, and produces characters that I cared about more than anything that MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries did. So I really kind of wanted that. I also wanted better ways to sort of order my squad mates around, and AI that was a little more responsive to what I wanted them to do. And MechWarrior 5 Clans so far looks like it delivers on all of those things, or at least attempts to deliver on them. It's got a single-player campaign that centered around Smoke Jaguar, a clan of pilots, each with their own backgrounds and stories to tell. It's got, of course, all of the goodness of MechWarrior gameplay, which I never had any problem with. I actually really enjoyed that. And it's got even a new improved interface with a tactical view for giving your squad mates orders that I think is going to be pretty swanky. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to MechWarrior 5 Clans. I don't know for sure if it's going to be the game that I want it to be, but it looks like a much better attempt at that anyway. So on October 16th, when it comes out, I'm going to check it out. Another release coming out at the end of October is the Horizon Zero Dawn's remaster for PlayStation and PC. Yeah, I agree. It seems kind of early for a remaster, but the game does look really good. And if you're like, it's kind of like asking the question, are you going to buy the extended edition of The Return of the King? And for me, of course, the answer was yes, duh. So I don't know that I'll pick this one up necessarily right away, but Horizon Zero Dawn remains firmly at the top of one of my sort of most beloved gaming franchises. It is an absolute masterclass in animation alone, but it also has some of the most compelling single-player story content that I've ever experienced in a game. So yeah, it's just a fantastic game. I love Aloy, I love the character, I love the setting, I love everything about the game. So it's quite likely I will pick up Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. Maybe not right away, and maybe not play it right away, but it's on my radar. Okay, so we can't leave a discussion of the games that are coming out in October without at least mentioning Dragon Age the Veilguard, right? It's the big one. And you can't swing a dead cat on the internet without running into the controversy swirling about this game. If you're one of the 5 people on the planet who don't know about all of the controversy around Dragon Age the Veilguard, well, a quick YouTube search will produce everything that you need to know. In fact, I actually did an episode a little while back about why I suspected the developers had to make some of the decisions they had to make on the game about the amount of content that they're going to carry forward from the previous games. And I absolutely invite you to go check that out. I'll leave a link at the end of this video about that. But ultimately, I'm going to play Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's the next Dragon Age game. So yeah, I'm definitely checking it out, going to purchase it and play it. I think I can Stockholm Syndrome my way past the art direction, which I really don't much care for. And, I'm one of the few people that actually enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda and really liked the characters and the stories and was able to get past some of the egregious art direction and art mistakes that were in that game. So my bar may not be the same as your bar in terms of enjoyability. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm definitely going to check it out. And I think that's going to be a wrap for this week's video. Which of these games are you going to play, if any, and that you're also excited about? Are there some other ones that you think are pretty cool that I didn't talk about that you think should be mentioning? Let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, if you guys are enjoying my content, I absolutely invite you to hit the like button and perhaps even subscribe. I'm trying to produce content that gives maybe a little bit slightly different take or different perspective on the games that you like to play. And so it's up to you guys, though, to let me know what kind of job I'm doing in that regard. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Happy gaming.